All right. So first, welcome to the Jingleton Hack for Beginners, which is going to run from today, starting very soon, to the 4th of January. Now, the idea of this is to train you on all basic application security pen tests. It goes from really basic to really hard. It's using a OWASP project called the Security Shepherd. I'm sure some of you are familiar with it, and it is really good to help you get there. It has very good instructions, and it is very helpful. Okay, so let's get started. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run you really quickly through burp and sub proxy so that you can you can I'm sorry, you can learn the basics of how to use these tools to perform the penetration testing on the different things.
Hey, come on.
All right, so let's just move to the next slide and let's get into it. Okay, so what you have in front of you is Burp Proxy. It's the community edition. There are two types of proxy that are commonly used in industry. One is Burp Proxy, and the other one is the sub proxy. Now, Burp will be the most common one, and in my life as a professional penetration tester and red teamer, this is the one tool I have used. Burp Community will give you enough to perform any hack, but it is more manual. Whether that Burp Pro has a very useful scanner and other tools that will allow you to do it more effectively. Okay, so what you have in front of you is the dashboard. This is a Bird Pro feature, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but basically it shows you the findings, any advisory on those findings, errors, which is usually not very useful, and this on the top left corner is the scans that you are running. Okay, now we go to the target. Now the target capture everything and showed in a nice looking map. And as you can see here, I have a series of sites I have done before just to have this in the right format. So the key here is to notice that everything is now in a tree structure. And you can easily identify the different pages and where they are. And, like this JavaScript, we'll go over this in a second. The scope is what you can use to determine the sites that you want to look at. So, for example, if we want to capture this page only, we can add that to the scope. You get this pop-up, but this pop-up means what you want to store in Burp so that the Burp file doesn't go very high. You can decide to only store things that are relevant to your scope. This particular case, I'm not going to do that. But just to show you what it does, here we have something that is called the filter. And in here we can just choose to see what is in scope only. And voila, we can see only that side. Okay? Issue definitions, just the definitions of the findings. As you can see, Burp has a very comprehensive engine and it can identify a lot of things. And it has ratings, etc. All right, now let's go to the proxy. Now, I think this is one of the most essential part of Burp. As you can see, we have the intercept. Now, what the intercept does is allows you to capture messages as it happens, and you can change it. Like for in this particular case, I'm gonna add the header, I don't exist, one, right? And I'm gonna give it a color of, I don't know, let's make it red so we can easily find it. I forward it, stop this, sorry. Then we go to history and there it is. And then we look at it and look at that. That's the edit message, which has not received a response yet. Okay, let's move on. So there is WebSocket history, the connections and stuff. And there is the options. In the options, this is very useful. You can have multiple listeners. You can have the intercept request, what you can do on them. For example, we can have in this particular one is the default one, and we have these extensions. Then here we can have the responses. We can capture this one. This is disconnected by default, but you can choose to do these particular ones, and you can put rules to catch a specific request. This is all regex compatible, so that's how it works. Then you have the WebSocket messages, and this is a modifier so that you can see them on the outside. And then here is match and replace. Now in these two, as you can see, I already selected two rules, which is the if modified since and if non-match. Now what these two do is they set a time frame in which the page was first requested, and when this is changed, what this happens every time the request go, it will not send the page, it will send simply a 3 or 4, which is a problem because when you refresh, you want the new page to be resent. So disabling these headers enable that to happen. And there are some other options. Then we go into intruder. Now, intruder allows you to do brute force type of attacks. As you can see, I already have one here set up. And I said only these 3 payloads, which you can edit as you wish, right? Then you can perform the attack. Community edition is lower. You can see we get these attacks on each identified input, which I'm going to show you now. We got here set 1, set 3, and then in 2, set 3. Okay, so it allows you to do fuzzing. All right, moving on. We go to the repeater. As you can see, I already sent one. This allows you to do manual fuzzing. Previously, if we have these 2 headers and we send it, we get 3 or 4 response. If we take the 2 headers off that I was talking about, we get the actual page, okay? Sequencer, this is to allow you to detect the entropy or the cryptography in the authentication cookies. Now, I don't want to go into more detail into this because part of the course is to teach you what encryption and other things are, and this requires a bit of knowledge to be able to use these too. The code is very useful. It allows you to encode and decode things, like in this particular case, you see the base 64 encoding and decoding using this little thing here. You go decode, obviously it does not, but we can encode as base 64. Then we can decode as base 64, and this is what we get, yeah? Comparer allows you to compare 2 things, requests or responses. In this particular case, I got the two responses of the request I change. In this one, we have the headers that the last modified, etc. And that's why we get a 3 or 4. And here is when we took the headers off. And we just, as you can see, you see the modified headers or items, and then the things that were added to the page. It's very useful. Extended, now this is what allows you access into the third-party store. As you can see, we got Burp comes with a lot of different add-ons that you can use, and it allows you to do a lot of different things. I have enabled a few, bypass WAF, Expresso, and authorize that allows you to do authentication, authorization checks. You won't need any of these for the CTF, but you know, just to show you what it is. Now, projects options allow you to set the options for the specific project you're working on. But this is Burp Community, so don't use this, because the moment you close Burp Community, you lose this. It's gone forever. But the user options are stored, and you can actually change them here. As you can see, I already changed the proxy interception to be always disabled. And then for login history, always prompt me for action, yeah? All right, that is for Burp Proxy. If there are any questions, please put them on the Discord, and Jack will read them now, I hope. Jack?
There's none so far, so I think we're good to keep going.
Okie dokie. Cool. Now let's go to SAP. I'm using this extension, Foxy Proxy, which allows me to manage my proxies. If there are questions about how to set these up, please put it in the Discord. Happy to explain it after I go through SAP. Okay. Okay, so let's change it to SAP. Then let's go to SAP, which I have here. Obviously, I did the capture already, but we can do this. Okay. There you go. We got our juice chop. Then we go to SAP proxy, and is as you can see, this is a one screen type of deal, right? And this is the main console that you see. Now on the left, we got the map, right? On the right, we got the request response sort of scenario. You can have them in different modes, raw, or this is like the headers and the body. Then you got the response there, right? And then here is the console, I will call it, which you have the web sockets. It increases as you do different things. Now, this has a scanner, which is very powerful. Now, I would recommend you not to use that scanner because this is a public site and it might we're not using any interfaces before they are the digital ocean interface. So if you start using the scanner against it, data ocean might think it's an attack and it might actually close the site. So please don't use the scanner for this particular one. Now, just to go over the main part of this, there is the attack, which contains the scanner. You can do a spider, which is just going to do a dirt buster, and that can be configured. You can do the active scan, which is what I'm talking about, and it's going to scan the site, etc. And there is Ajax spider, for the Ajax, which is something these security checker uses a lot of Ajax, but don't worry about it too much. When you capture the request, you will see what I mean. You just don't refresh the whole page, you send parts of it. And that's what Ajax is. And this is for fuzzing, okay? Now to configure this, there is configuration things here in session properties, and you can set up different things here. Set up the context, which is the scope. And you can actually, I think if you right click the site, you can add it to the context. You see, you can create a new context and that will put it in a scope. So things are called differently, but with this screen, you can pretty much do everything. And I believe you can replay here. I don't know what it is, but yeah, you can replay the request. There is good intros. There are lots of information about this if you want to learn more. Okay. Okay, that's it for SAP. Are there any questions? Jack?
None so far.
All right. So could I ask everyone that is connected before we go into this component to go to Discord and register and make sure send a message on the Jingleton channel. So just say hi or whatever. Let's give you a minute to do that, please. The link to the Discord is it should be on the YouTube, just below on the message.
Yeah, I've posted it in the YouTube comments.
Okay, how to open this? I think there is a question on YouTube.
Yeah, it's just come through.
Okay, so you want to know how to open the site in SAP. Okay, so just want me. All right, so what I did, let me go back. In my browser, I have Foxy Proxy configure. And as you can see, I got Burp and SAP Proxy. I'm Burp community, but don't worry about that. And just this is an add-on for Firefox at Chrome. And to set it up, you just go to options, you say add, and then you put a title, It's usually 127.0.0.1 and it's 8080, usually the port. So you set that up, okay, and that will set this up, okay, um, and then that will send it directly to the proxy. And then to start SAP in Kali, you just type the command. I think that's the one. You just go and say SAP proxy, and that will start SAP. Cool, and you got some options there. And okay, you can open your old session. Let's do that. We go file, open session. There it is. Open. We're back where we were. My pleasure. There is a delay between the things, but that's okay. Any more questions? Oh, did you guys get into Discord? I don't have view of it. Jack, are there many highs on Discord?
Yeah, I'm talking to people now.
Fantastic. That makes me very happy. Thank you very much, guys. I am looking forward to seeing you hacking away. And this is the first time we do this, and we are going to do this every year in Christmas, but same CTF. So once you do it, I think it will be very fun to do it again. But we got an announcement coming on something super, super cool that you guys will want to get involved in, but that's going to happen after this. Okay. Let's go through the rules announcements first, and then we go to the setup, all right? Okay. So you are only allowed to do the exercises in the Jingleton side. Please. It's the only allowed one, nothing else, okay? Don't attack your fellow competitors. Don't attack the infrastructure because DigitalOcean will close the site, okay? So just focus on the exercises. The exercises have instructions, and you just read the instructions and do it the best. If you got any questions about any of the exercises, feel free to contact us on the Discord channel, and we will help you to the best of our ability. Please note, we will not tell you how to solve the challenge because that will destroy the purpose of the exercise, but we will help you to the best of our ability. Now, the scoreboard is not going to be available from today, and the reason is because not everyone will start today. So I want to give until the 28th of December so people can start and have a good chance to feel they can win, because they can. The last 3 exercises of this challenge are extremely hard, and to this day, I have not seen one single person solve them, okay? I mean, I've run these on different companies, and so far, I haven't seen anyone solve those last 3, okay? So, yep, okay. The winners will be announced on the 4th of January, 2021, 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. The important thing here is we will put the top 10 of the scoreboard in our site. We're going to put them as the Jingleton Challenge for the whole year. We're going to keep this tab saying Jingleton Challenge winners. So if you're applying for jobs or whatever, you can go say, oh, but I was number whatever in Jingleton, and keep the site, and you know what I mean. And with our congratulations. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of funding this year, so we are not able to give any prizes, but maybe in the following years we'll have some sponsors and we'll be able to give some shirts or whatever, and we'll see how it goes. A little keyring. I got some stickers. If you guys want, I can send you a sticker. Okay. Any questions so far? Jack, I get that's a no?
No, not at the moment.
All right. Okay, next, let's get into the challenge. Now, Fan, could you please enable the Jingleton to be open to the internet? I think it is. I'm just telling him he's our my other co-leader. Thanks, my friend. Okay, so to get to the Jingleton, you just go to jingleton.ovas.cine. Please check that you can access it. It's an HTTPS. And if you have any issues accessing the site, could you please let us know on the Discord? I will just wait a few seconds and uh, few seconds. And while you do that, I'm gonna enable registrations. I should have done that before. Okay, configuration, registration. No, this is what you don't want. For everyone to see, I am enabling registrations, which means that the Jingleton has officially started. So, Jack, has there been any questions so far?
Just some issues connecting to it on Macs with Safari, just because of the invalid set.
Oh, yeah. I don't particularly know. I would recommend using Firefoxy or Firefox or Chrome, but you can do it on that one. Is that right? Yeah. Are you okay answering that, Jack?
Yeah, I'm just trying it now to see.
Fantastic. All right, let me just go to the. And that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, guys. We will keep in touch with you on the Discord channel. Unless there are any other questions, which I don't see anyone. Any more questions? Good luck. I'm looking forward to see this how this channel this plays out. If you we might share this presentation through the Discord channel. So if you want to go back and see how to connect or whatever the rules, then you can review it. So okay, good luck everyone. Thank you very much for listening to me.